South Africa's Sasol Secunda is one of the largest petrochemical plants in the world. But beneath the huge cooling towers and bright lights, there exists a surprisingly unique ecosystem. And in this unusual setting, an elusive feline is thriving. Servals are the most successful cat hunters in Africa, with the longest legs relative to their body size of any other cat out there. Their super sharp hearing and impressive speeds mean these spotted predators nab their prey 50% of the time. In 2012, Sasol's environmental staff made an amazing discovery. The wetlands surrounding the plant were home to an extremely large population of these felines. Exactly how many servals were there in the area? Why were they thriving? What were they preying on? And did the fences around the wetlands have anything to do with the astonishing numbers? I headed out to meet up with the team working on the ground to find out more about these fascinating findings, and hopefully to get some answers. Dan Luak is the principal researcher on the project, and he's absolutely crazy about servals.
There's no other way area in the country or perhaps in the world that's got this high population of serval and the ability to study it this easily.
With population estimates at well over 100 cats in a 3,000 hectare radius, this serval density is the highest ever recorded.
This is prime habitat for them. We see the cats moving along these water systems and these flays all the time. This is where their prey is that they feed on, and it's also where they rest in these reed beds.
I caught up with Dr. Wayne Matthews to find out more about this extraordinary population.
Now, the wetlands here are created in a lot of ways are created wetlands, and actually it's an artifact of the refinery of the pumping of water from the wetland systems into the coolants and back into the system. So you've got an artificial system out there which happens to maybe at this stage is carrying most of the serval, which could be related to kind of maybe the abundance of the rodents in those systems.
It's thought that one of the reasons that the servals might be thriving in the area is the high prey base. The cats feast on flay rats, which favour these wet, marshy areas. Serval populations in the wild are threatened by habitat loss, snares, and the illegal skin trade. But behind the fences of this high protection area, these creatures have been able to thrive. And there's no other predators to compete with servals, as they're at the top of the food chain. The protection zone also means that the researchers don't have to worry about anyone nicking their equipment, so it's a great space for studying the animals. A number of the cats in the area have been collared. By keeping track of the animals' movements, the researchers are able to better understand their behavior. The servals are also studied using camera traps. It's a great way to identify and monitor individuals. Don and I head into the wetlands to recover one of the camera's memory cards.
Okay, this is one of our camera trapping sites. I'm just going to open now to get the SD card out. I have to close it. Okay, this is the card that all the photos are recorded on, and this will be downloaded now in the office on the laptop. So the objectives of the camera trapping is to set up a database of all the individual animals, and then all the animals, all the pictures that we get, we need to compare to the database and to the blueprints that we have. So this is an example of one of the animals that we recently got from the camera, and I need to compare this one to the blueprint on the left hand side. And you can, what we do is we draw a block here, and then we can, based on the spot patterns, compare and say this is the same animal as the one on the left hand side.
There's nothing better than some on-the-ground research, so the team's determined to observe a serval in the field. But spotting one of these covert creatures isn't going to be easy. Kevin uses the GPS tracking device to try and locate an animal.
You say that the cat has moved.
Okay, so Don's just been speaking to Martin, who's the guy who's designed and made the collars for us and the whole tracking system. Now he's sitting in Pretoria, which is about 170 kilometers away from here, and he's got his laptop open in front of him with the tracking program on it, and he can see via satellite exactly where this cat is. So he's just told Don that the cat has just moved from where it's been resting. So from a guy in an office in Pretoria, we now know that this cat has moved from the point where it was 5 minutes ago.
Servals are masters of camouflage, and trying to find the individual in the thick reed beds is proving impossible. If the team's going to catch a glimpse of these stealthy cats, they're going to need some specialized equipment. The next day we meet up with Johan van Sail. Don's hoping he's got the solution to locating a serval. It's a military-grade thermal camera.
It's so dark, so you just can't see the animal.
Okay.
And that's why we approach you with your high-tech camera gear to assist us in locating, not just locating the animal, but get some actual footage of the camera of the cat in the wild.
The camera will definitely help you. It's a high-resolution thermal camera, so any heat that the animal is going to pass on, the camera will pick up easily. Even in thick vegetation, you can see the cat, and I'll be able to pinpoint it. Yeah.
Perfect, yeah, that will be very nice.
Servals are nocturnal hunters, so the team has a better chance of finding them at night. And with the help of the snazzy piece of equipment, it's a sure thing. As soon as it's dark, we hit the road in the direction of a popular serval hunting ground. Johan and the team set up the camera.
Just starting up the float camera and connecting the hard drive so that you can do the recording. You have another computer, you can watch
This device detects heat energy and converts it into an electronic signal, which is processed to produce a thermal image.
So now the image that you see on the screen is the thermal camera, what the thermal camera is zooming into. So this is a live feed from the thermal camera that Johan is operating from inside the vehicle.
I'm just basically scanning with the thermal imaging, and if I do pick up a hotspot, I'll zoom in and just make sure if it's an animal, and maybe we're lucky and it's a serval.
The first things we spot are some climbing mice, tiny black dots on the screen. The perfect snack for a hungry serval. But still no cats. We turn our attention closer to the factory site.
I think I saw a cat. I just want to make sure.
There's a vark, man.
There's a vark.
There's a boospik.
That's a cat, bro. At last, we spotted one, and he's hunting. That's amazing.
It's most probably a male serval. It's about 400 meters from us now, and it just moved into a ditch. So we can't pick it up now. It's moving and marking the territory the whole time. It's actually very interesting to see. We've just seen another serval. It's sort of behind a reed bed next to a ditch, and it's hunting now. So the whole posture of the serval moving. Lifting its legs and just sort of getting ready to jump. So this cat is definitely hunting.
It's quite amazing how high he lifts his legs, isn't it?
Yeah. This is very, very nice footage.
So one of the things that we try to do in the last couple of days is actually first of all get a sighting of a serval, which we managed to do thanks to a fantastic thermal camera that Cecil kindly lent us, and also C3 Technologies. But we thought we'd try and do a step better and actually get a spotlight shot of the serval.
These.
Can't see him. Using the cat's GPS collar, we managed to catch sight of him briefly before he disappears behind the vegetation. It's been an incredible experience to join Don, Kevin and the rest of the team in the field, and to see their passion for these elusive creatures firsthand. The remarkable story of the servals at Secunda is a great lesson in how industry and wildlife can live side by side peacefully.